everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Two Sisters, One Book. I'm Carla.
And I'm Amanda. We are two sisters, two moms, tackling one book at a time.
What? Just one book. That's it.
Just
No more
one
than
book.
one.
One book. But this book is actually so freaking amazing. I'm actually really enjoying it. How about you?
I really like it. I feel like I'm really connected with the characters. I have a little bit of an issue with Lyra, but we'll talk about that later. We don't have to start the episode with a bunch of negativity. So,
So it was interesting how we ended last episode of Lyra finding out she has a mate and everything. That was our magical guy in her head. And then it started with a dream. Was it a dream though? Or was it really him like in her head? So it was just interesting how it went from her storming out, saying we'll never see each other again, to her having this very vivid, very intimate dream with a
yeah.
guy she couldn't even see his face, but we all know it was him.
Oh, we do. And I was wondering about that dream. Do you think, obviously, there was a lot of little spice going on in there, but do we think, aside from the spice, that there was a significance to that dream? Because I think that was definitely the bond kind of pushing him into her, because we know you can't really fight the bond. I mean, most books we read, you can't fight the bond. I mean, you might be able to reject it, but I don't think that's kind of the direction this one's going. And I was wondering if you think that there's any, I guess, significance to the dream and what your thoughts were on that. Because it was definitely Evander, for sure.
I feel like everything right now has like it has purpose for sure. It wasn't just like one of those dreams because she's lusting for the guy. I think it really does have purpose and it's trying to tell us something. It was just crazy how the dream happened like this and she wasn't able to see his face. And then the very next scene is she's walking around asking people about this mating bond, and all these shifters are saying, yes, it's possible, but we've never heard it with like a shifter and a non-shifter having it. So I was thinking maybe one of her secret skills is like secret things that she doesn't know about is she actually is a shifter, because she does mention later down the road how Misk and Caddy got their powers after puberty. So then that means usually you get it during puberty. So maybe she's like saying something's happening. So maybe because she is getting closer to her mate. If you think about it, she is getting closer to her mate because remember, she had that bond, like that pull that she needs to go somewhere. Maybe more magic is coming out, which is hinting why not everybody, but the few people we've seen get like their powers. And then now she's reacting in a different way. But it was just funny how the dream was of the faceless man, but it was like so, I don't know how to say, it's like so vivid,
Yeah, it felt real.
like he was there with her.
Yeah. I think that going on that theory, I think that we are going to find out that Lyra is a shifter. But if you think about it, I'm even going back to the previous chapters, all the testing that they did on all the people, it was just for the technically three, unless you want to add like non-shifters in there, four types of categories that you could be in. And I think if we want to lean into the theory that Lyra is similar to her mother, where she can control air, there has to be another type of shifter that hasn't really been put out there yet. So she's never really been tested for a possibility of, I guess, a fifth type of shifter. So yeah, I think that we are going to find that there is another shifter category that will be added in. I think that is going to be more what Lyra leans to. And maybe that's why she thinks she's not a shifter, but really she could be.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to find out.
And does that mean Evander is a shifter? Because I kind of made the assumption that if he's wearing that the outfit of a non-shifter, he wouldn't be one. So all the I guess to classify as a shifter,
The book does say he is a shifter. I feel like I might have missed something. So right, I read it as he's a shifter with no powers.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we know that Evander is, I guess the way that you interpret it is that he's a shifter with no powers. So he's a shifter, but we don't know if he could be a shifter with a non-shifter. It has to be two shifters that have a bond. correct?
That are mated, yeah. Because
Right.
everybody's like, "No, we've never heard of a shifter and a non-shifter being mated."
Hmm.
That's why I'm like, "What if she's something different?" Like, the fact that they said um, fire of a dragon, it's like, somebody has to shift into a dragon now. Like, I'm
Right.
waiting for
Because
it.
we know that I said last episode that I would like the dragon shifting. So let's just give that to our girl Lyra. Let's let her be a dragon shifter.
What if he's the one who could shift into a dragon?
Someone I think is going to be a dragon shifter. We just need to figure out who. And if we don't think it's going to be Lyra, I think then it might end up being Evander. But I think it's safe to say that I think it would be Lyra because her dad has or had dragon fire and then her mom had air. So what if it was like she had like a combination of the two? Dragon, like she's a dragon shifter, but she controls air.
With her
How
wings.
cool. Yeah. How
No,
crazy.
that would be fun. But we do see that the party is now all back together. I was getting worried that they split the parties. So we see A and Nadia come back, and apparently they look like they've been fighting a monster this whole time, but they didn't really go into detail on that. So I'm hoping that we do get a little clarification of what happened because they were gone for a while. But A did say that he backtracked to get them to what was the city's name? It was farther, the opposite direction of where Thornspire
Yeah.
is. So
It
that's why
was
it took them
called Riverton.
Riverton. Yes. So I'm wondering, is he lying? Did he really end up fighting one on one with these soldiers? And because, he has earth power, and I feel like Nadia might be a little stronger than just the lesser Fae. I don't know. But now, like, I want more.
I don't know necessarily if he was lying as much as he wasn't telling her the full truth. I think him and Nadia came across something, and maybe it has something to do with Lyra and the suspicions behind her, and he doesn't know how to say something to her. Or my other thought would have been that they were actually captured by the king and the guards. And I don't want to say they're spies because I don't think they're spies, but
See,
there's
I was thinking
something.
that too, but I was
Right.
like, no, I can't give Carla the satisfaction of me now turning against A right now. So I'll just keep that to myself. Cause I was like, what if they're under a spell? Like,
Yeah, like what
oh,
if
well, we've
something
been
happened?
captured. Okay,
Yeah.
well, at least,
So I
but
don't know. And that's why it's like I wonder, I don't know. Like there's something I feel like mysterious about that whole situation of them being gone cuz even Lyra was like they look like they've been fighting a monster. Like something happened and she knows that there's not the full truth in there, but so much was going on with Lyra that I think it just kind of passed through her mind. She wasn't able to really ask about it. And then obviously we're not going to get that answer right now. So who knows? But I do think we're going to come back to this and I think we're going to hear a little bit more about maybe what happened because I can't imagine that they were gone that long and it was just going around. I feel like there has to be more to that.
well, even that being said, and then we'll backtrack again, but moving just a little bit forward, it's funny how Lyra's like wanting to talk to her brother. So she goes to the room, she grabs her brother, and he knows he wants to talk to her, but he goes, let me tell you something first. So then he opens up about how he found her, who
Mm-hmm.
she really was, and how he knew who she was. But then all of a sudden, after explaining that, he's all like, just go to bed, get some rest.
Right.
It's like you knew originally she wanted to talk to you. And why were you holding
Yeah.
that information for so long? Especially when you just told her when you were 10 years old, it broke my heart that you figured out who you really were. You could have told her, hey, this is how it really happened. We've been doing this together. He was 18 when he found her. When she figured out who she really was, it seemed like that's when she started getting nightmares and like terror, like she was scared, like at night. He could have opened up to her then and said, hey, you're not going through this alone because I have nightmares too. My family was slaughtered too, and all this stuff. But he kept that from her. And I kind of got where he was coming from, why to open up now because Mira opened up to her. But still, you waited so long. You had the horseback ride. You had until she was 10 years, like 10 to what, 24. So what is that, 14 years? You had all this time to mention it. what is going on, sir? Like, you're not acting like yourself. But once again, I
Yeah.
was like, Carla did make a point that I like have trust issues with people until the end of the book where I'm like, all right, I like you. I suppose I like you. But no, that was just
Watch
like
this be
a,
like the one time where you're right and like Aldi is like some non-trustworthy guy and you're like, I called it, but I didn't say it. And I'm like,
I
I
don't
don't
want to be
know.
right on that though, because I do like the guy. Probably not
I
as much as
know.
you like him, but
I don't think there's like necessarily something evil about Aldi. I just think that there's something that he's for sure not saying to her. Um, Especially with the fact that he did hold all this in.
okay, now that's my whole vent on the whole trust. Because I guess every episode I need to say I don't trust somebody. Dang it, I didn't want to give you that satisfaction, but we did anyways.
Too late.
As we backtrack, actually a little further before Aldi and Nadia come back, I guess there was a bar fight. Something was going on with the shifter and a couple other people, which I'm very curious to see what exactly happened with them. But we found out it was a wolf shifter. This is where we see truly how powerful Lyra is because you have this wolf who wolves do weigh a lot. One hurt her ribs. She felt like a couple ribs have broke, but she was still able to take him by the scruff and throw this wolf out the tavern, which then returned, made what the two guys that were standing next to him be like, we'll just walk ourselves out. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because they were fighting over the fact that it was like lesser or people who were non-wielder, like they don't have any powers, and they were angry against the wolf because they're like, you're basically treated better than we are. And Lyra had a good point where she's like, you're getting mad at the wolf when he has no control over where he's placed in rank, but yet
yeah.
that's how he was being treated. So yeah, she kind of jumped in the middle and then gets hurt.
Yeah. And does she tell Caddy she's hurt?
No.
No, she owes Misk an apology. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
That's so funny, but it's true.
No. So she doesn't say anything. Yeah, she didn't tell Caddy she was hurt. They sat back down. She was breathing through it. And what was it? She needed to go for a walk. And that's where
Mm-hmm.
Evander felt that she was so uncomfortable and he kind of took her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, he shows up. He's like,
that's
you
where we,
told me not to talk into your mind. So he just
yeah.
shows up instead. I was like, oh, that backfired on you, girl. You didn't want to see him anymore. But guess what? He's there.
Here we are. Yeah, she was so mad because he was able just to scoop her up and everything. But we did find out that she did have something wrong with her ribs because he was physically touching her side, stitching her up. And then that's when she realized like everything is calming down right now for me.
Yeah.
So it's the physical touch. He did say skin to skin. So if she
Yeah.
listened the first time, she wouldn't be in this mess.
I
Just
know. You
kidding.
could tell because she stopped feeling so hot and she was calming down a little bit. And it's funny because now that I think about it, before when she said, oh, when she walked outside and she started to calm down, she did run into him. So she did
Yeah.
have that skin to skin contact. So it's like, I don't think it's registering with Lyra that you do need to be around this man. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why he wants to join them, aside from being her mate.
Yeah, he wants to go to the end of the world with this girl. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so we do see him helping her out a lot. She was being a jerk in the beginning, like, I don't need your help. I've been by myself this whole time. I don't need you, like pushing him off. Girl, you do need his help. You're in pain. You're blacking out. You can't even breathe right now. Just let the guy help you. But she does make a little whisper of a thank you. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't think she really knows how to accept help, especially when she keeps mentioning that she was alone this whole time. Not alone because she still had A, but she's been alone this whole time by herself. And then that's when so he heals her up. She says thank you. You could kind of see this bond without her really realizing it get even closer. Like I feel like the if you want to say the twins are getting like swivened in even deeper if you think about it.
Yeah, the twins.
And the twines, yeah. And then we have, which we already mentioned, we have Nadia and A come, and it's funny to watch Nadia get excited for the showers too and everything. So we do see that a lot of stuff does happen when Lyra is with Evander because Misk and Caddy get together as they're cuddled up on the couch.
Finally, they're finally a couple. I don't know how
I
long that took.
know.
Only
I
what,
know. Probably a
18
long time.
chapters?
Couple of years. But yeah, so everything's just moving super fast, and we see Evander wants to go with them. He wants to
Yeah.
be a part of this party with them to be closer to her and help her out and everything. And we do see Lyra kind of having a panic because she doesn't want to stay in one spot too long. So do you
Yeah.
think she's having a panic because like the military side of her is coming out, knowing that like she escaped the dungeon and all this stuff, or do you think something's trying to warn her like, hey, this is what's going to happen?
Oh, I like that. I didn't think about that.
I
I
know, I
like
was
that
just like,
one.
"This is so
Um,
much."
to be honest, when I first read it, I kind of just took it as like PTSD. She's been in war, she's seen a lot of things. The fact that she just was in a dungeon and went through what she went through and she escaped and not wanting to be back. I mean, she took out of that city and went somewhere where she felt one, she felt drawn to, obviously, but she was trying to escape, I think, that situation. But now that you bring in the whole something is warning her, I'm starting to think it's that. It could be a combo of everything put together.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting because one, it seems like the city that they're in is big enough. There's a lot of people there. I really have a hard time believing that the king and his military would just come in and sort of,
But it's the spies. What if they're spies? And then
right,
like,
they're
you know what? There is a girl here that you were describing like everybody in the dungeon because aren't they going
mhm,
to another city that might be another testing site and she's now having
yes.
worries that there's people down there. So what if he does have spies in each of these big cities that are considered like safe spots because if you feel comfortable, you might get lazy and be like, "Well, we're just going to stay here," you know?
Right. Yeah. I think there is something interesting because I did think it was strange that Lyra's like, okay, like, Nadia and Aldi, I know you guys just got here and you're exhausted, but it's time to go. And then Katie and Misk, I understand that you guys are feeling comfortable and everything's good here, but we got to go. And Evander, I really don't want you here, but you're coming with us, so we got to go. Like she's rushing everybody out. And there has to be a reason to that. And I do think that if it had to do with her fear of everything that she been had gone through, why is she going to another area where there's a testing site? Like why go there unless she's trying to save people and she has maybe a guilt for leaving the previous city that she was in? I don't know. I mean, I just feel like obviously we know there would be no story if they didn't leave, but I was like, seems like such a good city. Why would you want to leave this city? Even if there's spies, because it's like, you're around all these people. There's a lot of people there. Do you think that there's really going to be a lot of like, will the king want to cause that much commotion to find one girl? Maybe,
Yes, he
especially if
killed
it's
an entire
Lyra.
family. He killed
Well,
an
yeah,
entire
I get that, but it's like we're talking a big city that seems like there's a lot going on there, you know?
which makes it scarier because you have eyes everywhere now, like
Hmm.
traitors amongst the Misk, or what if it's like, oh, a bounty's on her head now? And you
But then
don't
what
know
are
what
like?
if
Well, I was just saying, what are you supposed to do? Just continuously run? Like, what is her end goal here? I understand that she's like trying to come up with a plan, and obviously she has a lot of anxiety because she went outside and you can see her having a panic attack. But it's like, Lyra, what is your end goal? You're just going to keep running or are you going to fight? And I know that's a question that she kind of answers. I think when she was talking to Aldi is like, eventually we're going to have to stop and fight. So I don't know. I think I'm just trying to figure out where Lyra is going with all this. It's like, you're supposed to be the leader here and I'm confused for you.
yeah, I think she wants to get all the information she can because I do know her end game is taking down the king. And how do you take down someone so powerful when in her mind she's not so powerful? You know, she
Right.
has neither does he, but then of course he has all these people backing him up.
Can I say though, because I know I said earlier that Lyra, like I had my problems with her, and I'm sorry, and and I know you and I like to maybe have opposing positions on this, but the girl is bugging me with how she is treating Evander. I get you're upset with him because he was speaking into your mind. The guy didn't know that you weren't a shifter. He had no idea that you didn't know what was going on. Yet she is treating him horribly. Like he comes outside to be with her during her panic attack and she's just kind of being mean to him and she's like, "What, you came out here even though I'm just terrible and I'm mean to you." And he's like, "Well, yeah, because I'm here to show you that like I will go to the ends of the earth to be there for you." And then she ends the scene by just flipping him off and walking away. Is it bugging you too, or is it just me? Because she is bugging me with how she's treating him.
It's a little annoying, but I could kind of see her point. Because to me, it's like you've been through all this stuff. You've never really had anybody in the way of Anders coming in. Because she even said, I've never had anybody care for me the way he does. So can you imagine like being this strong woman doing stuff by yourself?
I just like I know she's not used to somebody being there for her in this way and everything she's seen and gone through, but we know she wants it. She talks about earlier, even in the book, how Aldi and Nadia are together and Misk and Katie are together, and they've got this relationship that they're all building. And she's like, I don't have that. And that's when she was talking with the voice. It's like, I know you want it. Why are you fighting this? And why are you being so awful to the one guy who's willing to give that to you? Like, it just, I don't know, it's so hard for me because it's like, you see these guys come in, and you see this, like, the enemy part of it, but it's like he's really trying. Why are you so mean to him, Lyra? And I just want to know why, because I really feel like he hasn't done anything to her. She must just not like him, because she just doesn't, either she doesn't want to admit as what she wants, or she genuinely doesn't want it. And I think it's the first one. I think she doesn't want to admit that she wants somebody who can keep her comfort at night, especially after everything she's seen.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like she's scared. She's scared. And you could kind of see it even too, as you mentioned, when she storms off, they go back into her room, all six of them, to try to
Mm-hmm.
come up with a plan for tomorrow. They have the maps and everything, and Lyra's face head is so shoved in the map that she's ignoring everybody around here. Where when Lavender, Lavender,
Evander.
Evander takes the map down because he mentions, like, he tries to call out to her in her mind, but she's ignoring him too. So she gets frustrated. Like, I feel like that was her comfort zone. I don't think
Yeah.
she likes people in her bubble, her comfort zone, because
Right.
maybe to her that's just, I can't open up to anybody and I feel weak. But yeah, no, there was some parts that were getting annoying. Which, I mean, it makes the book even funnier because it's kind of more relatable, where you're like, when you have the girl talk, you just want to smack her in the face and be
Oh,
like, you're being
I know.
ridiculous.
Well, and don't
So
get me wrong, don't take it for like I didn't like it, because I can appreciate when you make me dislike a character so much. And I'm not saying I dislike Lyra. I just, emotionally, I'm getting frustrated with her because I'm like, girl, like, come on, you
yeah,
know? And so I can appreciate the fact that she's written so well that way that it makes me think of her like that. But yeah, and
it's
of
like one
course,
of
we're
those
always going to
things
have
where you're
that.
like, you're so attached to Lyra because now you think she's your friend, and you're like, I know what's
Yeah.
best for you. Listen to me.
Yeah, it's like, girl, I like, don't make me come in through that book and smack you, because
Yeah, you're being
you
stupid.
deserve happiness too. Be good,
Yeah,
because he is good to you. And I think even just being mated together is going to help with all that. But I feel like she's not only fighting obviously the heated feeling going on inside her. She's fighting him. She's fighting everything around her. It's like, if you just give in, you might find that you're much happier than these moments of like that she has where she's having a panic attack or she feels like everything is on her shoulders. It's like, you need something to balance out your happiness, girl, and let that be Evander.
yeah. And it's just even more crazier how the entire party is falling in love with this guy. And I think that even
Yeah.
scares her even more. So,
Yeah.
but
I mean, the guy
this
brings supplies like in a
I was just
cart.
gonna say, so this next part is where they're like getting ready to leave and everything, and everybody's on their horse, and she's like, I don't know which horse is his. Tell me why. I was thinking this is where he's gonna shift. He's either gonna shift to a flying creature, or he's gonna be like a half horse, half man type thing. I was so excited for it. But we show up as his
Wow.
king, or his prince in shining armor, or whatever they say it, where he comes with a wagon full of supplies that no one's ever going to run out of rations. Like, he has medical
Mm-hmm.
supplies, food supplies, everything you could possibly think of on this wagon for them. That she even says, we don't even have to stop in a town. Like, I'm sorry, I would love the guy even more if I saw that. Like, bro, you thought of everybody, not just yourself. Like how
Yeah.
all these people just thought about themselves. I guarantee you, they only grabbed what they needed, and he's over here grabbing everything for the party.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, and they're on their way to Cinderport, which is supposed to be, I believe, one of the other towns that they're doing the testing facility in. So it is going to be very interesting, like we had mentioned earlier. Why are you going there? And what are your, like, what is your goal there? Like, what are you hoping to find there? Like, there's a part of me, I feel like that Lyra almost wants more answers and she doesn't know how to say that because it's like, why go to the people who you were originally running from if you
Yeah.
didn't want answers to who you are more? Because, which we didn't, touch too much on it earlier, but we know that when Aldi says that when he found her, that he didn't know obviously who she was, and she gets that little piece of information from him, but most of the information she got was from Mira. And Mira was the one who provided her with the information on the power that her mother had and how powerful her mother was and how she was the one person every 100 years who is given a new power. So I can't imagine that Lyra doesn't want to go there to discover a little bit more about herself and to know more, but she doesn't know how to ask for that. And she may not even know internally that's what she's going for.
I think that I agree with you 100% on that, but I also think because
But
she said it before
just kidding.
but let me tell you, no, she did say that it terrifies her to think that there's other people locked up. So I feel like Lyra has been in this position of her, like saving people, defending people, like being a protector and stuff. And the fact that there's other cities that are doing this and she can't help them, she feels like she failed. So I think she just wants to
Yeah.
put her mind at ease is going in there. And is it other test sites that he's putting people in? And if so, I need to help them. And if not, why was it just the test site that we were at?
Well, and if I feel like if he's still going around and testing, he hasn't found what he's looking for, which I think maybe Lyra knows that he is technically looking for her because let's admit it, all of these testing sites, the cover is that, well, we're just trying to make sure that everybody's in the right category and that anybody who has come to power doesn't know that they have powers. But in all reality, he is looking for Lyra. He's looking not just for her, but to make sure that if she is out there, that he finds her. And
Mhm.
technically we know he has found her, but he doesn't know that he's found her yet. So it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering, like, Lyra, why would you, like, yes, I get the whole, she wants to make sure that she's helping save people and do all these other things, but it's like, there has to be more to it. I feel like there has to be a reason that she's going back into the danger area. And I feel like it's her trying to discover more about herself?
Yeah. But she's smart because she lied about her last name, which is obvious. She lied about her age. So maybe the king, but no, because see, that takes it out too, because there was older people down there too. I was like, maybe it's between a 5 and a 10-year gap, just in case the king knows people are going to lie about their age just from the situation. So
Yeah.
I don't
I
know,
don't
but I'm
know.
excited to read the
But
next 5 chapters to find out.
me too.
Let's see
We're
what
going to find
happens.
out. I
I feel
know.
like we're going to
Now,
get to the city pretty fast, to be honest with you. So I'm pretty
I
excited
know.
that we don't have to keep waiting. I love this.
Yeah. So, what we're reading the next 5 chapters.
Yeah, 20 to 24.
How exciting. Great. So, if you guys are reading along with us, make sure you guys read all the way through those 5 chapters. But I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we end the episode?
No, but we love you guys.
We do. Make sure if you are listening on Spotify or Apple, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to leave us a review. We'd love to see and hear what you guys think of the podcast if you're enjoying it just as much as we are. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell so you know when the next episode is out. And also share this with a friend and like, comment, rate. If not already, make sure you guys are following us on social media. We are on Instagram, TikTok, and on Facebook. And then also make sure to give Elle Clausen a follow. She is on Instagram and TikTok as well. And then we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.